Streaming cyberspace into your place, sanctioned by the Bootleg Racing League. From Myrtle Beach Speedway, it's the Virtual Grip Network's 7th round coverage of the SK Modified Invitational Series Season 35. It took Todd Liston 159 career SK Modified starts before he could claim his first modified crown. And now, just 6 races later, the defending champ is just a mere 5 races away from back-to-back titles. But between Liston and consecutive championship sits 2 drivers. One, a relative newcomer in just his 3rd season, with only 27 career starts under his belt. Captain Sparky John Wilson is just 4 points ahead of Liston and just 2 back of 4-time SK Modified champ and current point leader Matt Hoos. The Hoosinator has won twice this season, the only driver with multiple wins. Now, last round, 5-time champ Donnie Moore bested Steven Spies by 8 one-thousandths of a second to win at Irwindale. So, if close racing on the track and a close race in the points are 2 things that interest you, then pull the lever on the Lazy Boy and settle in for some simulated short track racing action about to stream your way. A warm Palmetto State hello and welcome on this Friday night, May 10th, 2024. Papa John Hine will soon be joining yours truly, Bill Soups on Hype in the BGN broadcast booth to bring you our Words Eye View. Replay Ryan Seneca, turn the knobs, pushing the sliders. Okay, let's go down to Papa John right now behind the wheel of the VGN Thunderbolt Grease Slapper. Partner, how's it feel out there?
It's been a long time since I've turned laps around this old joint, but it's sad to say this joint's no longer around in real life, so at least iRacing's got it immortalized forever. But here's a little bit about this track. Coming around the track, there's going to be 2 points that we're going to have to watch tonight, I think, for trouble. One, it's relatively flat coming through the corners, but down here, if guys get greedy and get on the throttle too quick, they're going to come out and hit this outside wall right there. Watch for that. And then the other spot where you got to watch yourself, well, I'll have to get it around this next time around. I didn't want to wipe out somebody on pit road there. But there's some nasty turtles down in 1 and 2 there. And you know what, guys? If they're trying to get their nose under somebody, they're going to hit those turtles. And Soup, watch this and watch how quickly it upsets a car when you get on them. Well, I've got to hit them first.
Hey, you got to go. They're a little more to the left, John.
Yeah, they're a lot more to the left. I was worried about Kurt out here on the out, or not Kurt, but Todd Liston to the outside here, and don't want to wipe a guy out when he's practicing, But now we'll do this here. Watch how quickly when you get up over these things, they upset it, and then right out to the wall, and I've got to almost stop it. Woo. So if you hit those, and you got a guy and you're trying to get underneath them, you're going to shoot right out into them, and there's going to be, we're going to have a caution. So watch for those 2 areas, turn 4, turn 2, turn 4 wide, turn 2 on the bottom.
Heard you talk a little bit about getting on the limiter. Is that an issue?
Yep, we're on the limiter. I don't know if Ryan's got in-car, but if we get in-car right now as I come around here, let's see, you're going to see a light on my dash pop up and see right there at the flag stand. That means she's given her all she's got, and it happens on the backstretch too. Little light will come on. Had to lift here a little bit. There it is already, well before that corner. So that's going to make it real hard to pass. Momentum is going to be king here tonight. Got to keep that momentum up.
That is good to know. You heard Papa John talk a little about the chip. It is the chips contributed by our viewers that make Hide Behind the Wheel, as well as this entire broadcast, a possibility. We thank you all for your generosity. With that said, let's take a quick look at the points. With Mike Holloway making his season debut at Irwindale, the number of drivers who have raced at least once this season inches to 21, with 7 having raced in all previous 6 events. Now, Matt Hoos, not only he does not have a lot of experience here at Myrtle Beach. He has only raced here 3 times, averaging a 7th place finish. John Wilson has finished 3rd 3 times twice this season. One of them was the last time out at Irwindale. If experience counts for much, Todd Liston has it. Liston sits 2nd in career starts at Myrtle Beach with 16. Jeffrey Harden's 4th at Nashville is his season best. And opening night 3rd was Lowell Jewell's season highlight. Newcomer Ricky Harden, he's not here tonight, has 3 top 5s and 5 tries. Younger brother Tom leads older sibling Steve by a single point in the Battle of the Hilberts. Nobody has raced more at Myrtle Beach than veteran Donnie Moore with 18 starts and 2 wins. And Irwindale saw Joe Segala pick up his first top 5 this season. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and run down the starting order for you right now. It's a relatively small field tonight. You take out by partner John Hine, and we got ourselves a Baker's dozen worth of drivers out there. On the pole, it is going to be Mike Holloway. He's going to be inside of Steve Hilbert.
And starting in the second row is going to be Tom Hilbert. Next to him will be the Hoos, Matt Hoos.
Okay, Bruce Pearson will go 5th. He's inside of Jeffrey Harden.
We talked about him before. One of our points chasers, defending champion Todd Liston. He's going to roll off 2nd. Next to him is going to be Joe Segala. He's going to roll off 8th.
Lowell Jewell will be starting 9th, flanked by John Wilson.
Donnie Moore is going to occupy that row all by himself because, well, I'm dropping out there. And then next row will be Alan Wanamaker will move up into that spot.
Good, and I think that's going to put Kurt Smith in the Baker's dozen spot at the back of the field. Glad you are with us here. 100 laps on slate. A few rules to talk about. You got to dance with the girl who brung you. No tire changes. You got to finish on the same rubber that you start with. There are no fast repairs. You can come into pit lane and get it worked on if you like. The perfectly mesmerizing Josie Kirkland pulls the pace car down into pit lane, and we're ready to get rolling here for round number 7, season 35. SK Modified Invitational. All attention turns to Mike Holloway in the 30. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug! Makes you want to holler, hidey-ho. Holloway with a good start. The battle is back here for second. Passing is going to be very tough. You want to get it done while you can. That's a little Hilbert and Hilbert action going on there. And it is Steve who gets the best of Tom. Rolling around the top side, that is Jeffrey Harden in the 36. Watching from the popcorn position with his racing gloves full of butter is the points leader, Matt Hoos, in the blue and yellow 21.
Yeah, right now, we talk about other, tracks, and, hopefully that top side can be viable. But, man, I think tonight you're going to want to get out of that top line as quickly as you can.
Tom Hilbert loses the position to Jeffrey Harden, so Harden up into 3rd. Working the low side is the double deuce Bruce Pearson. Rolling the top is the 81 of Joe Segala. Pearson started in 5th. Segala started in 8th. So Segala having a nice run on the outside. Now you heard John talk about the outside not being the place to be. Seems to be working right now, but nowhere for them to go as it's too wide in front of them with Hoos getting to the inside. Tom Hilbert. The younger Tom Hilbert, really struggling right now, and he's holding up Pearson and Segala behind. Pearson now trying to get underneath, gets up into Segala. Segala catches it, he drifts up into the wall, but he gets it, keeps going straight, up into the marbles. Not a lot of marbles yet as we're only on lap number 5, but that was a tough one for Segala. He keeps it going in the right direction. He gets into it again, this time in the back of John Wilson. Wilson wants none of that. Hey, Joe, I'm sitting second of the points. Come on, man.
I think Joe Segala is thinking, man, I'm a ping pong ball here right now.
Batted around. Nice little side-by-side battle. Lowell Jewell. Let's look at that one with Pearson stuck on the top side. That is the single deuce against the double deuce. 2 against the 22. They are pinned right behind veteran Donnie Moore. Donnie Moore knows how to get around here at Myrtle Beach. Nobody started more times, and only J.R. Shepard has more wins than Donnie Moore. Right now, Moore racing in 7th position. Working to the inside. Moore trying to make that white ASPCA special work for him. Meanwhile, up in front, we got a little action going on as Jeffrey Harden, who started in 6th position, was able to get around Mike Holloway. Holloway making only his 2nd start of the season. Jeffrey Harden now moving up into the lead, still within shouting distance of the points race. If you can get the number 36 to get a win here tonight.
There's a big battle, though, back. Looks like, Bruce Pearson, John Wilson. I think John Wilson, he's trying to make...
Pearson going around. He's trying to save it. Oh, he spun it all the way around from corner 3 to corner 4. Brings out the yellow.
I could feel that coming.
You could indeed. I heard you call it. The double deuce got loose. And watch how long he fought this one. Oh, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. And then he just kind of rolls it a little bit.
You know, we got to give a shout out to John Wilson. John Wilson was on his bumper and never hit him. You know, he lifted enough to give him room to try to catch it. So that was impressive. First, it was impressive that Pearson just didn't snap it around. He almost saved it, but boy, John Wilson there not getting into the back of him was really, really impressive.
Why don't we take this opportunity to dial up Captain Sparky, John Wilson, right now and see what he has to say. John is souped up here in the booth. Boy, you had an eye full of that last one as Pearson got loose right in front of you, but you stayed off of him.
Yeah, I did. I think he might have touched that inside wall and it kind of spun him around, but I stayed clean. That's good.
John?
John, this is John here. John from the South. You're on the northern, the Canadian side. I'm on the U.S. side. But, man, I tell you, you've got a little ways to go here, and you are in a tight points battle. Is that changing anything in your mindset and how you approach trying to get around these guys?
No, I just kind of want to take my time. I don't know if I got much for Matt. He's way up there close to the front, so I'll just see what I can do.
It's a good attitude. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
That has been John Wilson's attitude this whole season. Just
yeah, and it's working for him.
Yeah, right. Just to stay out of trouble, get some good points, and bring it home. Matt Hoos, a different type of driver. I don't mean to disparage the way that Hoos races, but if he sees the checker flag, he maybe throws caution to the wind and will race a little harder to try to get that race win and points be darned. Jeffrey Harden knows how to get a championship. He's won one in the late models on the Saturday nights. We're going to bring you that series tomorrow night right here from this very track.
Yeah, I hope to be on here and race that race tomorrow, but the High Limit boys are here in town with those wing sprint cars, and Mother Nature will just quit being so grumpy. I'm going to be at that race, but if not, I'll be right here tomorrow.
Well, they may have brought rain to iRacing, but rain will never stop you from racing on iRacing. Because hopefully you live in a residence that has a roof. You know, it's not hard to be an iRacer. You just, really, there's not a whole lot of limits. You just got to get yourself a cheap wheel and a decent computer. But you do need a place of residence. Not a lot of iRacers protesting on the college campuses.
No, you definitely don't want to be in most places. You don't want to be trying to run this on a Wi-Fi. You want it hardwired in.
Well, the man who's hardwired in right now is Jeffrey Hardwire Harden. He's sitting up in the lead, up 5 spots. He's got the pole sitter Mike Holloway to his outside. You haven't seen much of Mike this season. Made a late appearance, making his debut just last round at Irwindale. All right. Jeffrey gets a good jump. Now there's your points leader in the 21, the Hoosinator, Matt Hoos, working underneath Holloway. He's going to bring along with him Todd Liston. Now, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the difference there. Liston, the defending champion, sitting just 6 points back of Matt Hoos. Liston doesn't need to win, but he would like to finish ahead of the 21 if he could. Now, the other one in the mix is sitting well back. That's John Wilson back in 9th right now.
He's got a couple more spots, though.
Indeed. Wilson already up. He's up into 8th and coming with plenty more laps racing to go. You can't ignore what Donnie Moore is doing. We talked about it. Nobody has put in more laps here at, well, at least has started more races than the number 26 of Donnie Moore. Out there in his familiar number 26. ASPCA on the back end. Of course, Irwin on the sides. Donnie Moore, former champion. Multi-time champion here in the SK Modifieds. I believe he's got 5 of them.
And an overall good guy, too. A really, really nice guy.
Talk championships sitting right now in the top 4 on the track. Moore's got 5. Liston is the defending champ with 1, and Hoos has 4. So 10 championships between the drivers up in the top 4. play a little Sesame Street. One of these things belong together. 3 of these things belong together. One of these things is not the same. Well, that would be Jeffrey Harden. He's got himself a championship, but that's in the late models on Friday night. Has not been quite so successful here on Fridays.
Which honestly is pretty surprising. Harden is always a threat to win in these things, and he. I think part of that might be too. I don't know that he's run a full schedule in a while on a Friday night.
Well,
I was gonna say he seems to miss a race or two every season with these things.
Championships are hard to come by sometimes. Of course, we talk about championships. We would really be remiss if we didn't mention, well, the legend in his own time, J.R. Shepherd. He's got 18 of them, 18 count them. Right now, 1, 2, 3, 4 up front. You can see that there. We're watching a little battle back farther, side by side. That is Kurt Smith. He started dead last. He's worked his way up. Steve Hilbert, who started in second position, has fallen back a bit. The Chief, former police chief of Plain City, Iowa, racing on the outside right now. Joe Segala's been up and down. He's to the inside. The Chief gives them plenty of room, and that's going to allow the double deuce of Bruce Pearson back. Bruce had that spin, went to the back of the pack, but he's able to get around 3 drivers since then. Tom Hilbert, Alan Wanamaker, and, only 2, as John Hine is listed in the standings. But doesn't show up on your tower. There you see only 13 drivers out on the grid right now, out on the racetrack.
I mean, I could get out there and drive, but I think Lowell will give me a call on Monday and relieve me of my duties.
Missed your opportunity to know. You during practice is enough of you on the track for this broadcast. All this going behind the front 4 guys. How hard are they racing? I don't know. With a small field like this, you got to figure that yellow flags are going to be spared. Now we have a move as Hoos goes to the inside, trying a little momentum for Jeffrey Harden on the top. My partner says the outside won't work. Let's see if the 21 can get it to go. And right now they're probably both on the limiter, so it's hard to get anybody. It's hard to dive it in deep into the corner when you both have the same momentum.
Yeah, and the reason why the bottom will prevail eventually, it's just a shorter way around. When you're on the limit, you know, you don't really have that throttle to mess with on that outside.
There you see them. It's a drag race. Cialis bathtubs are Matt Hoos and Jeffrey Harden. And boy, they come out of corner 2 and nobody has an advantage. There's the advantage, and I think it's just a matter of real estate compared to racing skill. This is the 21. Well, the radius is less. And now, Harden's in the same position with Liston.
Oh, yeah, and Donnie is right there behind, so you might see a little bit of a choo-choo train go on here.
Well, it's not really a matter of getting freight trained. It's kind of a slow-moving, hobo-jumping type train that is going underneath Jeffrey Harden right now.
You know, and as a driver, that's so frustrating because, I mean, you know, you're probably making pretty decent lap times, everything else on the top. Car handles pretty good. You get off the corners good, but just like you said, the radius is a shorter way around.
Donnie Moore back there doing everything to stay on the back of Liston, gets loose, and that may be the opportunity for Harden to tuck down in there. And now Moore gets underneath Liston. The 87 had an adventure, and now he rolls off a Ford. Looks like he's going to secure 3rd position. And that allows Mike Holloway back into the mix. Remember, Holloway started on the pole, racing conservatively and maybe just saving his stuff for the back half of the race. We're only a third of the way plus 1 through.
Yeah, and look who's knocking on the door of the top 5.
My partner is mentioning John Wilson in the 75. Started in 10th, up 4 spots. He's worked his way around Lowell, Jewell. Kurt Smith, of course, is coming. Bruce Pearson had issues.
You know, he always just, you know, patient. I'm going to see what I can get and get what I get. But I'm going to tell you, I think that's a facade. I think he's about as tenacious as a Canadian goose, man. He just keeps coming.
Well, tenacious as a Canadian goose. You don't want to mess with those. Oh.
No. He's got a new nickname now.
Oh, I think that's it.
He's a Canadian goose.
Matt Hoos might get loose, but John Wilson is the Canadian Goose. Oh, I love that. Tenacious as a Canadian Goose. You know, his modus operandi when he first came in was he was very aggressive. In fact, he would have trouble with incident points. He has really tempered his game down a little bit, where he's much more peaceful out there on the track as he races in sixth position.
Well, yeah, it's not even tempered that down, but he's gotten faster because of it. He's finishing races, and you know, people think you got to just really push to go fast, and you know, I know that saying's been around for a while, but sometimes you got to go slow to go fast, you know.
Well, right now the Goose is flying north in the standings, up from 10th to 6th.
That is definitely that name going forward.
Yeah, sorry, that was too good to.
Sorry, John. If I got to live with Papa John, he can live with Canadian Goose.
All this going on behind Matt Hoos, Jeffrey Harden, Todd Liston, and Donnie Moore. They race in that order right now. Really not much they can do about it. We'll see if things pick up as we get closer to the end. Let's give a little love to some of the drivers that haven't got any screen time. How about the 74 of Alan Wanamaker? It's back there. There's Joe Segala. You never know where you might find Joe on the racetrack in this one. He seems to be up and down. Right now he's racing in 11th.
Yeah, but wherever he is on the track, by God, he's racing hard.
Wanamaker right on him. We've been jumping around a lot, so why don't we stay on this one for a minute and watch Alan get to the inside? He's going to make it work.
Yeah, Joe got a four-wheel drift coming out of that corner, and he's trying to fight back on the outside, but, you know, we've seen it. That outside just not got in. These cars just don't have enough oomph to make that work.
Look how Segala does not give it up, though. And now he gets a little of the wall. He's lost it. He's on the South Carolina Alfalfa. He brings it back out onto the track. We stay green. Yeah, Joe, we had that one on camera, baby, the whole thing.
Yeah, and that was the other thing I told you in that pre-race deal there. You know what? If you get greedy there and get on the gas, that nose is going right to that outside wall, and Joe just illustrated that for us.
Lucky he found some fescue showed up there for him. Otherwise, there was no inside wall. A lot of inside wall here at Myrtle Beach. He's happened to find one of the few places you can slide off to the inside and not hit anything. We ride on board with the man sitting in second. His better half, Brandy, most likely watching if she's home from work. She's got a couple. Go ahead.
We ever figure out what her apples are?
We're afraid to ask. We are next time we get.
Oh, you cowards!
We will ask Jeff about Brandy Harden's candy apples. Right now, she's got a couple meals on the stove. Got a nice one if her man can win, and it's a Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Ain't nothing wrong with macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, I know.
That kept me alive in college.
Agreed.
That and ramen. Macaroni and cheese. That was the gourmet dinner in college.
Who's Harden, Liston, Moore, Holloway, your top five? This is racing just about the way we thought it would race when John was out there giving you Hein behind the wheel. Let's check in on John Wilson and see if he's inching his way, literally inching his way towards Holloway. You know, you look at the qualifying time, or at least the practice times, they don't qualify here. They were all very, very close.
Yes. Yeah, I don't forget how many it was, but I mean, there was maybe 10, 11 cars all within a tenth of each other. You're right on top of each other. And when you see that light that I showed you, get up on that chip, that means everybody's maxed out power right there. So when that's a situation like that, your real advantage is in the center of the corner. Who can roll the center the best? Those are the guys that are going to find the most success on a night like this.
There's your front four. They continue to race about a car length apart. It's about 3 car lengths back to Holloway. I'm going to take you through the field here for a minute with Wilson working on the back of him. Then maybe 5 car lengths back is Lowell Jewell, about 2 car lengths ahead of Kurt Smith. Smith started in the Baker Sutton spot, dead last. He's up 5 spots. It's a long way back to Bruce Pearson. Pearson had an issue. Spun it off, got a little bit of the inside wall on the spin, brought out our only yellow. He's racing right now in 9th. Long way back to Wanamaker, but look what happened to Wanamaker in 10th. Once he got around, Steve Hilbert actually and Joe Segala. Remember, he was racing with Segala, so Wanamaker on the move. Tom Hilbert out there still on the lead lap. Last car out there still racing. Joe Segala still on the lead lap, 11.4 seconds behind the leader, with lap times at about tick over 18 seconds. We've crossed the halfway mark. A lot of commentator fill going on right now, as there's not a lot of action out there. Everybody just trying to do what they can. I can tell you this. I think Holloway has picked up a little bit on Moore and brought Wilson with him. So might be a little bit of possum from Holloway.
You got a battle for the lead.
Oh, look at this. Just when I said nothing was going on.
Jeff Harden said, hold my beer.
Yeah, as he gets to the inside of Hoos. Hoos had led 28 laps. Harden has led the first 22. No, 22. Mike Holloway led the first 7. They continue to race side by side. Again, this may be a case of the geometry, as the radius on the inside circle is less distance than the radius that Matt Hoos is racing on the outside. Yes, the 21 has momentum, but we don't think it means much when you're on the chip.
Yep, and this is going to come down. Who rolls up center of the corner better? If Matt can keep a little bit of advantage in the center, he'll be good up there and be able to probably stay side by side for a good while. But, you know, if Jeff can get that center going down there, yeah, Matt's fate will be sealed here probably about 5 or 6 laps from now.
Todd Liston saw this scenario before, but it was a little bit different. It was Hoos inside of Harden. Liston got loose and almost lost the position to Donnie Moore. Liston continues to watch. This might be an opportunity maybe for the 26 of Moore to do something on Liston. Liston doing his very best to stay on the tail of Harden. He does not want to leave an opening for Hoos to tuck into. Matt, if you're listening to me, if you want to back off a little bit, you can tuck down underneath Harden right now. No way. The Hoosinator says, I have the little Hoosinators watching from across the country, Soup. I cannot give up the ghost. I cannot surrender Casper. I got to fight for everything I'm worth. And right now, let's watch this. They continue to race side by side, coming out of here, working lap number 64. They are Cialis Baptist, and I'll be gosh darn if Matt Hoos doesn't get credit with leading that lap. Now, he doesn't have to finish the pass. All he has to do is race like this for the next 36 laps, and maybe Hoos will get a win.
Well, we saw that in NASCAR over the weekend. You come to that start-finish line, you just got to stick your tongue out a little bit and might get yourself a win. Matt's doing a nice job. I mean, you know, and it's all coming down to the center of the corner. Matt is really getting a great drive off, so he's probably hitting the chip a little sooner, but that's giving him an advantage, and they almost touch right there. Man, these guys are really, and now look at this. That's brought 6 cars all together here.
I don't know a lot about sim racing, but I know the 2 cars side by side are not as fast as 1 car racing in the preferred racing line. That is Todd Liston back there, just angling out, coming out wide, then ducking down in. But now he can't duck down in because Donnie Moore says, that's the opportunity I was waiting for. Todd Liston, you left the door open. I'm putting my foot in here and said, Mrs. Liston, would you like to buy a vacuum cleaner? The 26 now on the inside. Watch out for those turtles, Donnie. My partner mentioned about him. You got awfully low.
Yeah, Hoos is back underneath.
A crossover move from Matt Hoos. Isn't he sneaky? Isn't he just... Oh, they touched.
Contact.
The Hoos is loose. Momentum to the 36 on the outside. Can he close the door? He cannot. It is Noah Ark Racing right now, 2 by 2. And here comes Mike Holloway into the mix as well.
Watch the crossover. Here we go, crossover.
What's good for the goose, and I'm not talking about John Wilson, is good for the gander. Great racing up front. They can't figure out who wants the lead, and now, Brandy, your man's on the inside.
Yeah, and you could see it there right on the exit of turn 4 there. That Harden laid up just a little bit, let Hoos get that advantage and turned right down across the track, got back under him.
Liston having trouble as now Holloway gets tied to the inside of the multicolored 87. Racing up front, let's watch for the crossover again. If the 26 of Donnie Moore can get up behind the 2 up front, the crossover will be harder to do. Let's see if Hoos wants to try it one more time. Nope, they continue to race side by side. What about tires, John? Is this hurting both of those guys? Maybe more having the best of it right now?
These are late models, I'd say. Yeah, these things just their tires don't eat up like the late models. I think they're good to race hard like this.
Hey.
The only thing is they might get a little bit of tire pressure, get a little hot, and you might lose that right front a little bit for these guys, but you're not going to wear them out.
Well, talking about maybe wearing out of stuff, he sits third in the points, but Liston now, who is racing up in third, has fallen all the way down to 6th. And that is big news. We got a big picture think here for a minute. John Wilson, who sits second in the points, just picked up one for getting around Liston.
Hey, he's tenacious.
They continue to race side by side up front. Harden gets a little bit of an advantage. There's really no momentum to the top side. It is all about the look at who's make up ground, rolling the corner.
They hit each other. Wow. How many times have we seen contact and it just doesn't slow them down? Nobody lifts. They're just banging off each other here, racing really hard. This is good stuff.
So help me out here. Could Harden be having a hard time keeping up momentum on the inside? Because it looks like the 21 is more effective. Maybe has more. He looks like he's faster. Like you talked about, in the middle of the corner sometime.
Yeah, and the thing is, Harden needs to be able to swing out a little bit coming out of these corners to maintain his speed. He keeps having to pinch down. But hey, what you said here earlier, look at that. Matt wanted to do the crossover, but Donnie Moore is right there.
And now, Moore may have more to give these guys here as we got just about 22 laps to go. Look at how low the 26 gets to the inside wall.
That got him loose. That got him real loose. He went into a 4-wheel drift down there.
This is really fascinating to watch as we work lap number 79. Holloway seeing what he can do as he looks to the outside of Moore, and then there's Wilson back there in fifth.
Second, third, and fourth just tagged the wall right at the flag stand. They all went out, swung out, and all got a piece of the wall.
A little bit of target fixation going on, perhaps. Well, my goodness, I don't know what you can do to win here. It seems so close. I think the only thing that could possibly make something happen is music. If you're thinking about winning, get the mirror ball spin and grip the groove. Make your move. Put on your dancing shoes. It's time to boogie. And with that said, when boogie time came, they all settled down and now they race in order.
I think they're all getting their tires under control, letting them cool down. They're going to make you watch about 10 to go. These guys are going to get crazy. They're going to just sit here for a minute, cool them tires down, and you watch about 10 to go, somewhere in that range. You're going to see some moves being tried.
John says it's going to get crazy with 10 to go. Let's see if we can get the rights to Let's Go Crazy by Prince. That shouldn't cost too much. Let's see if we can play that with 10 to go.
We can tell him that he gave us those rights back in 2010.
Kurt Smith is getting in the mix back there in 7th. I don't think if he has much for these guys up front, this is going to be fun. Working lap number 85, but they come across the line right now. Jeffrey Harden has led 35 laps. Matt Hoos led 41 laps. Mike Holloway led the first 7 laps, and he's still in the mix. He's in a battle right now as he tries to hold on as John Wilson gets underneath, because 75 would like that one. battle back there as Wilson would like to move up into fourth.
Yeah, these guys battling the top three are getting away.
Not sure. I think Wilson thinks I really didn't have much for those guys up anyway if I can get around Holloway right now. But he's watched how hard it is to race, how hard it is to get this done. Maybe he's learned something. He drifts up. Oh, came up really close to the 30, but they stay off of each other. Where to watch? Nothing going on up front. Harden has Hoos behind him. We'll keep an eye on that. One of those guys is going to make a move. Right now, this is the best action.
Oh, Wilson caught those turtles.
And he'll have to give up the chase.
Look up front. They're starting to peek around.
Moore, I think, might have more than the drivers in front of him. Certainly has. We saw Harden and Hoos race side by side for lap after lap after lap after lap after lap. Now, my partner says really not much to worry about, but these modifieds have a lot of rubber. One issue we always have to think about when we have long green flag runs like this, and they are on the limiter for so long, you have to hope that the iRacing setup gave them enough fuel to go the distance. Page 17 of the Commentator's Handbook, put drama into the broadcast whenever possible.
Absolutely. And, these guys, long green flag run, they're in their rhythms, yep. So that makes it harder to pass, too. So they are going to have to get creative behind the wheel. Oh, Hoos is into the wall.
He loses the spot. Donnie Moore with patience gets that done. Now let's see if the 21 get the momentum back. Wilson has to be back there thinking, gosh darn it, if I could just get around Holloway.
I think Hoos hurt his car. We'll have to see if he can get back up there.
He's got 8 laps to go. Get it figured out.
But that did open a gap for Harden, though. When those two got, and then Donnie had to kind of move, that probably gave Harden an extra car length there.
Yeah, but
Donnie's reeling him in, though.
The position that Moore just picked up on Hoos was a gift. He didn't have to burn up a lot of tire equity to get it. He's been back there like a successful doctor with plenty of patience. And now, right now, it's time to see what he can do as he can run down Jeffrey Harden. Brandy, Jeffrey's beautiful wife, watching on. Randy, I think you can put the macaroni and cheese away. It's looking good for your man right now. 5 laps to go. He's got himself a 3-car length lead. Car looks good. Passing is at a premium.
Harden,
Wilson. Go ahead.
And Harden is taking a really smart approach. He's not trying to pinch that corners down. He is running almost right in the middle. Wide angles in, wide angles off. He is running a really good line right now.
I think a man who is really struggling, I think my partner said it, Matt Hoos, when he got it in the outside wall, all of a sudden he lost any kind of hope of staying with the front.
Well, yeah, he's struggling. He's struggling getting out of the corners now.
Yeah, you can see it in the racing line. It is so obvious the way the car drifts up way earlier than anybody else on the outside. This is fun to watch. We are running out of laps. Jeffrey Harden started in 6th, picked up the spots early. Donnie Moore has had success here, would like to pick up his 3rd win at Myrtle Beach, career win. He's got another half-mile and change to get it done. White flag flies for Jeffrey Harden. They look comfortable. Everybody looks comfortable. We had 1 yellow flag. Not a whole lot of passing, but a lot of side-by-side racing. It was exciting. Jeffrey Harden out of 4, nothing between him and the win. And he gets it. Round number 7 goes to Jeffrey Harden here at Myrtle Beach. Donnie Moore will pick up 3rd. Your points leader, Donnie Moore in 2nd. Your points leader, Matt Hoos, comes home in 3rd. The man chasing him in points, John Wilson, 2 spots behind, so we'll lose a little bit there. Todd Liston right behind Wilson. So Hoos increases his point lead ever so slightly. Nevertheless, Jeffrey Harden gets the win. Congratulations on that. The racing is over, but our broadcast is not. We'll take a short break. We'll come back, run down the entire 13-car field before we talk to some of the drivers. Put a lock on the gate. Don't go far. You're watching the Virtual Grip Network. Welcome back to Myrtle Beach Speedway and VGN's 7th round coverage of the 35th edition of the Bootleg Racing League's Outlaw Escape Modified Invitational Series. The results are in. And Papa John Hine and your friend Bill Subsana are going to give them to you right now. Well, Jeffrey Harden led 52 laps, coming from 6th to 1st in a great battle with Matt Hoos for the lead, swapping back and forth, over-unders, left and rights, hokey dokes, dipsy doos, and in the end, Jeffrey Harden gets the win. Now, Donnie Moore was able to vulture second spot from Matt Hoos when Hoos put it in the wall. So Moore goes from 11th to 2nd. He loves racing here at Myrtle Beach. Matt Hoos will settle for 3rd position. Mike Holloway started on pole, hung on for 4th. John Wilson came from 10th to 5th and really only loses 2 points to Hoos in the points. Liston loses 3 points to Hoos in the points, so they continue to be close enough to be a legitimate threat for the championship crown with plenty of races to go before the season is over. Kurt Smith goes from 13th to 7th. Bruce Pearson, Double Deuce Bruce, comes home in 8th. Low Jewel in 9th. And Alan Wanamaker comes on in 10th. John, there's only 4 left or 3 left. I'll just take them all. The Hilbert battle, Steve gets the best of Tom, 11th for Steve. Tom will get 12th. And Joe Segala, who was up and down and up and down, he finally surrendered Casper with about 51 laps remaining in the race. He had an early night of it. With that said, let's go ahead and talk to our race winner tonight, Jeffrey Harden. Oh, my goodness, Jeffrey. Soup here. That was a fun one. Hard to make that pass.
Man, Soup, I'm sweating.
Boy, whether you're on the inside or the outside, it looked like the shorter distance maybe was where the advantage is, but the outside was working well.
Oh, it seemed like in 1 and 2, you want to be on the inside, but on the outside in 3 and 4, so it really balanced out.
There was talk about being on the rev limiter a lot, so it was kind of hard to dive it into the corner. That was our take. Is that kind of how you felt?
Yeah, you really had to get a really good run and hope the guy in front of you had a bad corner in order to make the pass.
Do you like racing at Myrtle Beach?
It's been good to me so far. Historically, it's been pretty bad, but tonight, 3 podiums and 2 wins. I can't complain.
Yeah. You had a nice, the feeder race was good for you, so yeah, that went well. All right, we're going to get you out of here. You haven't had a chance to answer our VGN Spring Poll question yet. If you could have any one superhero power, what could it be?
I would think it was the power to heal any illness or disease or injury.
The power of healing. Oh, that's a good one. You guys are really good. Well done, Jeffrey Harden. Congratulations.
Whoa. We can't let him go without asking him one question.
Go ahead.
Jeff, what are the candy apples, man?
Well, they're candy apples. They're just delicious.
Okay, that tells me all I need to know. I thought she might have an online with, big candy, but never mind.
Maybe if this goes anywhere, but right now, no, it's just for the house.
Okay. Well enough. Brandy's candy.
Well, tell her if she ever does, I want her on that list because, man, those are like one of my weaknesses. So that's awesome that she's good at that, doing those.
Take a picture. We'll show it to one of the yellow.
Oh, don't do that. No, don't do that. Then I'll be crying the whole I'll leave the broadcast to go find one.
Hey,
Jeffrey Hard.
Can I wish everybody a happy Mother's Day, especially my mother? She isn't doing well. She's been battling cancer for a couple of years, and it's going through a rough stretch right now. So I want to tell her I love her and happy Mother's Day.
Thoughts and prayers out to everyone. Good job. Jeffrey Harden, well done with the win. All right, John, who you got?
Well, I got a runner-up, Donnie Moore, and Donnie, man, I tell you, you had a great seat there, and you just needed those guys to maybe make a little more contact, whatever. But how was your race, all in all?
Boy, what a race that was! I hope it was as fun to watch as it was to participate in. What a battle! Hats off to Jeffrey for the win, and great job by Matt too. I was able to grab second only because he tapped the wall there. But what a battle!
Well, when I was looking at it, watching you guys run earlier, I mean, I'm guessing, was it the drive off the corner that was a secret to maybe getting a pass done, or was it the center, being able to roll the center and then, complete the corner? What did you find that was the easiest way to pass out there tonight?
It was tough to pass. You had to wait for a little bobble here and there, maybe contact between two guys in front of you, but I was having good luck coming out of 3 and 4, not so much 1 and 2. But hey, before I forget, shout out to my to the gang at Stone River Outfitters, always showing me love every week, and big supporters of this group.
Yeah, that's Matt LaVenture, isn't it?
That is Matt LaVenture and the gang. Yes.
Well, if they're watching, Matt, you ought to come back and do a one-off with us. I'll throw it out there. Yeah, there you go, Matt. No pressure, peer pressure. Come on, come on. You can come back and do one more, right? Well, Donnie, the other thing, last thing I want to ask you here is, sounds like you just had fun and everything else there tonight. What are your prospects? Do you think next week? You think you keep this momentum going?
Yeah, this season's another lost cause for missing races, but one of these seasons I'd like to, vie for the championship again. But I would just take it one race at a time. It was fun. You're right. It was fun. Boy, and you just can't say enough about Lowell and all this back, the work he does behind the scenes. You can't come and race anywhere with this kind of competition. This is great to be here.
Well said. And I'm telling you, Donnie, I love these interviews when I hear you guys and and Jeff came in and he was all bragging about how hot and sweaty he is. You can hear the excitement in your guys' voice, and I'm going to tell you, the racing, it was just as exciting to watch. So thank you for that, and we wish you best of luck, man.
Fantastic, John. Thanks a lot.
Yep, that's Donnie Moore, our second place finisher.
Donnie Moore, championships in seasons 3, 7, 15, 28, and 32. That spans pretty much the entire length of this series. With that said, we talked to the man who leads in the points, Matt Hoos. Matt, you didn't get the win, but you certainly got the win when it comes to having fun.
Oh yeah, it was a heck of a race, and thanks for Jeff for running me clean and just having a good battle. I'd like to see how long our battle would have went, but I think he overdrove the one corner and we kind of ended it there. But it was fun while it lasted, and I was not giving up third. I'm like, I am not working my butt off this whole race to finish off the podium.
One of the things we talked about is we expected that maybe tire wear, even though you were racing hard, maybe not an issue. Was it a factor? Was it a concern, or could you have raced a while like that?
Well, you could, because I think we were both heating our tires up even. With these, it's not so much the tire wear, it's the tire heat.
Got it.
And it was getting me out of 4, and that's what got me in the wall at the end. My front got so hot that it just didn't turn.
Looked like after you put it in the wall, you didn't have much for the guys. Was it just the tires were too angry, or were the car a little damaged?
Oh, it took some damage. I hit it right on that right front suspension there, so it took some damage.
Get you out of here on this one. Do you big picture race when you're out there? Do you realize you're in a really tight battle with Wilson and Liston? Do you know where they are? Do you realize if you're ahead of them, that's good for you?
I really don't worry about it.
I figured.
I've won some in the past, and I'm just here to race, have fun, and if we do a good race, and like for earlier, Harden told me he was trying to keep up with me in the supers for the points, and I'm like, wait, I'm leading the points? I had no idea. So, I don't check them very often. So.
Well, to drill down on this one, I'll ask you one little historical question. Who do you think won the very first championship in the SK Modified?
Oh, in the SK?
I'll give it to you. It's Matt Hoos.
I was going to say Donnie.
Yeah, he was there too. You guys were dominating early. You have championships in seasons 1, 5, 8, and then way back here in season 30. So it's not been that long. Good job. It was fun watching your race.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks to all the BRL crew and you guys in the booth here and Lowell. And it was a fun race. See you guys next week.
And we've set the date, right? That's since last time we've talked. We have a date for the nuptials. No? Okay. Well, we're working on that. All right. Matt Hoos finishing third and still with no date for the nuptials that he has allegedly a fiance. With that said, if you like what you saw, we're going to do it again at this very same time next week, and we're going to be right back here at Myrtle Beach. No, it's not. That would be silly. We're going to go to a new racetrack. And I talk about a new racetrack. How about New Smyrna Racetrack? That's going to be round 8, Friday night, May 17th, 8:55 Eastern, 5:55 Pacific, 2:55 in Hawaii, and sometime on Thursday night if you're in Japan. But before then, we're right back here tomorrow night for the Myrtle Beach for the late model series. Pretty much the same guys racing in cars with fenders, and that's where you want to watch J.R. Shepard. He's on a roll. He missed the opening round, but he is trying to close in and win a championship, and the gap keeps getting closer to the top. He'll be there soon. With that said, I'm going to go in the closet, look for your hat. You don't have a hat, so I'm just going to shake your hand, say thanks for watching. There's the door. Until next time, have fun storming the castle.
There was not.